Hey everybody, I'm Xavier Ortega. You know, NXT. It's an amazing thing. And I am a big fan of NXT. No matter what year, no matter what roster, I love NXT in general. The takeovers, the wrestlers, and the matches. And over the years, there have been 14 NXT champions. So today, I am ranking every NXT champion from worst to best. Number 14, Kevin Owens. Alright, so it's hard to say that Kevin Owens had a really bad run in NXT. He was barely there. He gets the last spot on the list because, yes, he won the NXT Champion from Sami Zayn, which was an amazing moment. But why put the belt on him if he was going to get called up later that May? In his time as champion, he fought guys like Neville and Finn Balor and Solomon Crow, aka Sami Callihan, and Sami Zayn himself, until losing it to Finn Balor at Beast in the East. I'm just going to go ahead and say Kevin Owens' time in NXT was very unwanted and unnecessary because he was bouncing from the main roster and NXT at the same time, and that's not what we need. Number 13, Big E Langston. Since winning it from Seth Rollins on an episode of NXT, Big E's time as NXT champion was kind of, I wouldn't say forgettable, but I don't think everybody remembers that Big E was ever NXT champion. Does anybody? Number 12, Tommaso Ciampa. I am not putting him solo on the list because he's a heel. I am putting him low on the list because he's only defending the belt against just Johnny Gargano. He's only defending the belt against just one guy. And he hasn't done much since winning the belt. Other than being in this amazing feud with Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa needs to do more as NXT champion. Number 11, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's title win happened on a freaking house show. It was not seen on TV. After he won it, he fought guys. He retained the belt against Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver at the end in a steel cage match using a Samoan a muscle buster off the top rope, which somehow he's banned from using. And he's also the first ever two-time NXT champion, alongside Shinsuke Nakamura, who were basically Sasha and Charlotte during that time, bouncing the belt back and forth. Other than that, I think Samoa Joe had a great reign as NXT champion. Number 10, Seth Rollins. The first ever NXT champion, Seth Rollins was the perfect guy to put the belt on. He was the perfect guy to put be the first ever NXT champion. A man who has had an amazing career on the independent scene, then coming to WWE and making himself a legend there. Seth Rollins was amazing down in NXT. He won the Shield down there. He defended the belt against guys like Corey Graves until losing it to Big E while still part of the Shield. That's it. Number 9, Andrade Cien Almas. I think Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano were the only guys Andrade feuded with while NXT champion. Other than that, his NXT Championship win at NXT TakeOver War Games, which in my point of view I still think that is like the number one NXT TakeOver of all time. Andrade didn't actually do much as NXT champion. I think he just only won the belt so NXT can keep him, or WWE can keep him from leaving WWE. Because there were rumors of him leaving WWE because he didn't have any. Well, I might be wrong about that. Anyway, Andrade's win at as well as NXT Championship win was unpredictable, and it really legitimized him as a competitor in the WWE. Number 8, Bo Dallas. So I guess you could say that Bo Dallas was the heart of NXT. He was the first longest reigning champion, which then got stolen away from 2 other people who will be viewed on this list very shortly. Bo Dallas, I think he was like an important part of the early days of NXT until he lost that loser goes home or loser leaves home match against Big E, and his reign as NXT champion was also unpredictable, kind of like Andrade, before losing it to Neville at the first ever NXT live show, NXT Arrival, in that amazing ladder match. All I can say is Bo Dallas' reign as NXT champion is kind of forgetful. It's kind of like Big E's reign. Nobody remembers that Bo Dallas was NXT champion. Number 7, Bobby Roode. I think that Bobby Roode actually brought legitimacy to the NXT Championship when he won it from Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. While he was champion, he defined a new era in NXT. By this point, Nakamura was already on the main roster, and Bobby Roode he brought welcomed a new era of NXT while he was champion. He fought guys like Nakamura, Hideo Itami, and Roderick Strong before losing it to Drew McIntyre at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. I think that Bobby Roode was probably one of the best NXT champions of all time. Number 6, Drew McIntyre. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, like much, he didn't really do that much as NXT champion. His feud with Andrade for the belt at NXT TakeOver War Games was a good match that ultimately led to him going away and healing up, which then led to his return on Monday Night Raw with Dolph Ziggler, which is pretty great right now. While at his time as champion, he defended the belt against Roderick Strong and Adam Cole until losing it to Andrade at NXT TakeOver War Games. But you can thank Drew McIntyre's title reign because he welcomed the Undisputed Era into NXT. So thank you for that, Drew. Number 5, Aleister Black. I freaked out when Aleister Black won the NXT champion. I really did. He was like one of the best NXT superstars since he debuted. He has an amazing ring skill, an amazing theme. As I said before many times that Aleister Black is freaking awesome. And when he won the NXT championship, it felt awesome. During his time as champion, he only defended the belt once. Actually, twice. He defended against Lars Sullivan, and then against Eric Young on an episode where he was supposed to face Johnny Gargano, but then Tommaso Ciampa snatched the opportunity away from him. Number 4, Shinsuke Nakamura. So Shinsuke was red hot since his debut match against Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Dallas, and everybody was getting behind him. Like in that time period, he bulldozed through everybody. He went through Alex Riley. He went through Elias. And he even had an amazing match at NXT TakeOver at the end against Austin Aries. So the company had something on their hands, and everybody knew that he was eventually going to win the championship, and that's exactly what happened at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, when he defeated Samoa Joe to win his first NXT Championship reign. The reason I say first is because he was also a 2-time NXT champion. You know, as I said before, Joe and Nakamura playing hot potato with the NXT Championship by the end of 2016. It was a great moment for Shinsuke to win the belt, and I think his time as NXT Champion was the best. Number 3, Sami Zayn. It's hard for me to remember Sami Zayn's time as NXT Champion because after he won the championship, he then got injured by Kevin Owens. He came back, and he only defended the belt once, and that was against Neville on that one episode of NXT. And then he lost it to Kevin Owens. It was kind of like, I think, probably the shortest NXT title reigns of all time. So it was really hard for me to remember Sami Zayn's NXT Championship reign. But other than that, him winning the belt was a story well done. His championship match against Neville when he won the belt, it told an amazing story. If Sami did not win the NXT Championship, he was gone from NXT, and Neville was starting to use his heelish ways to make sure he was still champion. And it was an amazing moment when he won it. It was a great moment for the Full Sail Arena. Number 2, Neville. Like I said, Sami Zayn and Neville are the yin and yang of NXT. And on to Neville, when he won the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver Arrival, it sparked a new era in NXT. He became the longest reigning NXT champion of all time before someone else stole that record away from him. And Neville's time as NXT champion was probably the best years of NXT. He defended it against all comers. He defended it against Brodus Clay, against Rusev, I think, Tyler Breeze, and had that amazing Fatal 4-Way match between Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn, and Tyson Kidd, until losing it to Sami Zayn and Our Evolution, which I just talked about. Other than that, I think Neville's reign as NXT champion was probably the best. And the NXT champion, ranking in at number 1, is Finn Balor. Okay, I know I keep saying this, but Finn Balor's time as NXT champion was probably the greatest time period for NXT. While he was champion, he defined a new era. I know I keep saying this, but he defined a new era in NXT. Like, he was the first one to put NXT on the map. The reason NXT is big now was because of Finn Balor as NXT champion. His time as champion, he defended it against anybody. Samoa Joe, Apollo Crews, Kevin Owens. Like, there's no other reign so big. There's no other NXT title reign so big than Finn Balor's. That is, and like I said before, he became the longest reigning NXT champion, stealing Neville's record away from him. And a great time period for NXT is why Finn Balor's NXT title reign belongs at number 1. That's gonna do it for this video. How do you rank every NXT title reign? Let me know in the comments below. Put a like on the video, click the little bell, press the subscribe button, and share whatever you want. I will see you all in the next video.